Hi, let's have a look at this Microsoft Power Automate community thread. So the question here is how to capture a multiple list details. I think it's around 11 SharePoint list. Capture different daily operations instead of getting 11 separate emails, alerts on a daily new item creations. Okay, so what we need to look here is we are looking more than one SharePoint list and capturing the list name, then created by and created on. And let's assume if an SP list is updated multiple times on a given date, the latest records need to be captured in the email alert. Okay, so only we want the latest record on a daily run, so it's going to schedule a run and get the latest record. Okay, so let's start building the flow. Okay, so before I start building the flow, I'll show you the SharePoint list record. So my SharePoint list is called demo1, and I just created a latest record that is called test1. Okay, and in my demo2 list I have created another record called test2. That is my latest record. So I have a couple of records, but in my report I would like to see only test1 and test2. Okay, so let's start building the flow. So if we want to run daily, then I'm going to use the scheduled trigger, that is scheduled trigger, and the recurrence I can set it to every day. Then I have got a couple of options like, what hour I need to start. I'm not going to fill all that, so users can set accordingly, based on the user requirement, the business requirement. Okay, the next thing here is you could build this flow in different ways. So one way you can build is you could go to a SharePoint connector, and here user got 11 SharePoint list. So that means we need to create 11 times, the 11 separate get list items. I'm not going to go through that way because that flow is going to be quite big. The main reason is the schema name is going to be the same here for all the list. If the schema name is different, then it's going to be a little bit tricky to us. Whereas here the schema name is different, the same. So it's quite easy to do in a different way with only one SharePoint connector. So the plan is, before I go into that, I'm going to add a compose here. And under the compose, I'm going to list my SharePoint list names. So I'm going to put comma separated demo1, comma demo2. Okay, so just rename this. It's good practice to rename this to readable names. So SharePoint list names. Okay, now the plan is I need to read demo1, then demo2. So basically I need to iterate one at a time. Yeah, so for that I'm going to use another compose. Again, you could use an array to iterate it, so I'm going to use this way now. So I'll show you some of the capabilities of the expressions as well. So here I'm going to use an expression in Power Automate. So I'm going to say split SP list names. So I want to split that into an array. So the expression is going to be split. So I click the expression, then two brackets, then click on the dynamic content and get the SharePoint names, comma, then the separator is comma actually, in two single quotes, comma. Okay, what I could do is I'm going to copy this and add a note here and just paste that there. Here we go, that's the expression you need. So here we go, the separator is comma here. That means I'm going to iterate that one at a time then after the split. So for that, I'm going to go to the control and say apply to each. Okay, and get the output of the split SP list items. That's output. I'm going to map that, and I'm going to add a compose again here and rename that called share SP list name. So here we should get each list name then. For that, I'm going to add another expression called item. So this gives me each item then. So let me save this and run the flow, check the result, what we are going to get. Okay, so click on test manually and run the flow now. Okay, so you can see it's split with an array. So it's each item now in an array now. So in the apply to each, we define this output. Then the item expression, which I defined earlier to give me the first value, that is demo1. See, 1 of 2. There are 2 items here in the array. Click on the next. I get the second value, which is demo2. Okay, so far good. The next thing what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use SharePoint connector and use get items. Here I'm selecting the SharePoint site name, then the list name. The list name I'm going to do here is go all the way down to say enter the custom value. And I know this is my list name, I want to use it. So I'm going to map that name there, output. Yeah. Or you can directly say item as an expression here if you want. Yeah. It's up to you. Once are done, because it's get items, we know it's going to give everything, but we are not interested to get everything here. We only want the latest one here. So for that, you can see here there is something called order by here. And in SharePoint, there is a column called modified on. That will be the latest one you want to look. The latest record been modified or created. Or if you're looking just for the modified created, you need to use this column name. Otherwise, you need to use this. Yeah. So I'm going to use the modified one here. So in the order by, I'm going to use modified. Then say descending order, I'm going to type DESE. Remember, it's case sensitive, so you need to be careful about when you type here. Yeah. Same for the filter query as well. So I said that. So this is going to give me still everything actually. I'm not interested in everything. So I'm going to utilize the platform, the connector, the parameter called the top count. So I'm going to set that to 1 then. So that means it is guaranteed to retrieve 1 record. Yeah. That's what it's going to give me. The next thing I'm going to do add here is a compose here. Yeah. So I'm going to add a compose. Remember, we need to collect 3 values here actually. So let me go back to that forum thread. So the list name we want, then the created by and created on. Okay. So for that, the name, so the compose. So I got the compose now here, and I'm going to rename that to say details. This is the details from the get items we want to collect. And for that, I'm going to add that in a JSON value here, and call this as title. So I'm going to get title also. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Get the list name. So list name, we know it's coming from the SP list name. So if you search for output, you can see that SP list name, the second one here. So I'm going to map that, then comma. The next thing I'm going to do here is the title also. I'm going to get the title as well. So, and then here I'm going to search title. Okay, so here you're not seeing the title here. That's because we need to pass this, in the next. Let me add a next step and see that. You should be able to see it because that's in the. I added that as a JSON. It could be the reason I think. So if I add that here, I should be able to see it. Interesting. No. Okay, but I know the schema name, so I can help you here that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that now. Right, type title. Then what I need is I need the this is an array now. The get items is an array now. Yeah. So what I need is I need to get the output of the get array items, get items, because it's always going to be 1. The guaranteed the index we need to give it there. So the syntax is I'll show you the syntax now. Okay, so the syntax is this. So that means it's the output of the get items, get underscore items you want, because you got the name with get space items, so it need to be underscore items. Then the body and the value, you can put a question mark here also, I believe, and then 0, that's the first index. It's always going to be only 1 value there. And the title is the the field name from the SharePoint. Oh, the expression is invalid. Press it there, click OK. That, yeah, that's done. So the title is going to be, this is the title. Yeah. So to know your column name exactly, what you could do is you need to go to the list items. This is the best way to always do it. Then click on the column name, see the columns here. Then check the URL here. So then the URL, you can see field equals. See, this is the actual schema name, you need to use it. I can call this as anything here. I can rename this column, but the field name never going to get changed. So people often mistakes this, like, oh, I put the right column and it's not working. The reason here is you rename the column and the schema name is different. So the schema name, to find the schema name, this is a technique you need to do. Okay, so I'm just going back now. So that's that expression. I will put all my expressions in my video description as well. So that's one I got. Then the next thing I need to do here is what is the other one we need? We check that. Okay, created by, and the mode created on also. Yeah. So for created on and created by, these are the dates we want now. Okay. So for that, we need to use okay, I thought, sorry, ignore me what I said earlier. So here it says created on then. Yeah. So that's what the users looking here, I think. Let me have a look again. 11 separate emails of new item creations. Okay, so the user is looking for the created one. It is we need. So I'm going to change this to, let me go and find the schema name here. Created, it's called. Yeah. So just to make sure that it's the right one, I'm going to go to the list settings. I'm pretty sure that's called created. There we go, that's created then. Okay, I'm going to use that then. Yeah. Okay, so let's go back. So list name, then created by and created on. That's what we want. Okay, so here I'm going to say, okay, before that, change the order by to created, descending order. Then here I'm going to say created. Okay, now what we want is we want to map the same thing, similar expression it is. So copy exactly the same expression, place your focus somewhere else, then come back here and place your cursor here. You should get the right expression again. Oh, that's gone now, sorry. Update that expression, paste that. Okay, change the title to created and click OK. That here it is. So click comma. Yeah, I think it all looks good. I think save it. Oh, enter a valid JSON. Let's have a look. List name, comma, title, comma. Okay, so there is something here. I think it's not. It should be colon. Yeah. Save it. Oh, again something not quite. Oh, 2 columns there. Pardon me. Yeah. Right. Okay, I'm saving that now. Okay, I'll put this index also in my video description. Okay, that's done. So I'm collecting all the the details what we want. So but I'm going to run it and show you what we are getting here. Okay, flow is running now. Right, expand the step, go to the details. So you can see the date comes up in a different format here, the UTC format. So we can format using an expression to a more readable format of the date, like American or British or whichever the format is. So what you could do here is you could click the expression again and type here called formatDateTime in brackets, whatever that output we saw earlier, comma, with the format. So I'm going to use the dd-MM-yyyy. If it's an American one, you need to put the other way around, capital MM-dd. You need to use the its case sensitivity. So remember, that's syntax, you need to use it. So if you want to put the month first, you need to put capital MM dash small dd dash small yyyy. Okay, I'm going to click and update. Okay, so let me see. Oh, that didn't update it. Yeah, sometimes the platform didn't update properly. I don't know why when you edit the expression. Okay, comma. I think it's a bug or something. Okay, dd-mm-yyyy. And most cases when you do a second update, it works. Here we go, that worked. Right, okay, I'm going to do the test again and show you the data now. Right, so the SP list name is demo1, and under the details, see, I got demo1 and test record, test1 record I got. So if I take you to the demo1 record, my test1 is my latest record there. Here we go, that's the one, the title I got, and I got the time 4 hours ago, that's today's date, and the date is formatted with dd-MM-yyyy format, and the list name is called demo1. And also one more thing we need here, which is in the requirement it said who created it, that is created by. Yeah, okay, so let me edit it. Okay, so to get the created by contains it's an object actually, so it contains who created it, it's their email, and quite a lot of other information is there under the created by. Let me save this flow again and go back to the run history and see whether I can get that info or not. Okay, so if I go back here and expand the get items, see here, if you click on the show row output, okay, so you can see the created by is the author here. See, this is the information is the created by. Yeah, so the field name, the schema name is called author there. And here, see, if you are after the display name or the email, what you need to do there is, this is a syntax you need to do. Because it's an object, you need to specify in a different way this, compared to the other mappings we just did. Okay, so go back to the combos, the details here, and adding comma here and say author or created by. Yeah, created by colon, and then here this is the syntax you need. So here it is. So the output of the get items of the body value, that's what we were giving earlier. Up to here it is correct. Then here because it's an object author, and you've seen earlier there are lots of other properties there, so you need to define the author and the display name. So just copy this and go back to the expression and paste that here. That's it. That's all you need to do there. Okay, save this flow. So let me go back here, go back there and show you again that. Here we go. So under that, under the show row output, see here, author. That's what I did, author and the display name. Display name is one of the properties. So if you want a picture or department or job title, you need to change it accordingly. Yeah, so remember that's the syntax you need to use. And earlier, we only got the title we want, so all we did there is we given the output with the index that is 0 because it's only one record, then question mark up to there, and then instead of author, that's a title. That's what we did for the other ones. Because it's an object with other properties, you need to give in that format. Okay, hope that makes sense. Right, let me go back and edit the flow now. Right, I'm going to test the flow now and to make sure everything is okay. Right, the flow ran successfully, and for the first one, there are two there. Remember, two list in my demo 1. So I got the name there correctly there. Click next. I get the second one, which is test2 record also. This is all good now. Yeah. The next thing is we want to send an email, then that's what it said. So then assume it's updated multiple times on a given date. The latest are going to be captured in the email record. Yeah. Instead of separate getting separate 11 emails. So how do we do that? So now the information is there now, but the challenge there is we need to collect that in an array and then send one email then. So for that, the best thing to do is I'm going to add another variable. Okay, add a variable called initialize variable. And then here I'm going to say list report. That's what we are going to get. and then here it's going to be an array. Yeah, and remember this is a format I use, the JSON format. So you need to follow the same format, like at the end you need a comma here up to the third line, and the fourth one you don't need it because you don't have any other properties here, and a curly brackets and curly brackets and double quotations you need for all the label names. Yeah, then the expressions. So here I'm going to use append array. And the defined variable is called the list report. That's what this variable name is, and the value is coming from the previous output of the details. So the details output we need to map. Okay, the output of the details, that's what I mapped there. So that means at the end of the day it's going to collect everything in an array. So now that apply to each is finished, the next step is called HTML to text. HTML. So under the data operation, you can see create HTML table there. So select that, and here I could specify the list, the initialized variable, which is an array which contains everything. So that is a list report. And if I don't specify, it says automatic, means it's going to generate the column name exactly as mentioned in our this one here, list name, title, created and created by. Okay, so let's put a space also there for the list name and header. Okay, I'm going to run the flow now. Right, so under the create HTML, see that's an array, it's been passed. So if you click on the show row input, you can see my both records are there from two different lists. The latest record has been pulled, and then that's output. So for this now to send an email, it's a very simple step. Then final new step is send email. That's the step we need to use. I'm going to use Outlook connector here and say send email, which is this version 2, and specify my email address there. Then subject is called a list report. Then in the body, I'm going to say create HTML table output, this output of the create HTML table. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to map there. Okay, or you can put some heading here also, like here is the latest updated records of the list and output. Thanks, that's it. Okay, let's try to send an email again, try to run the flow again manually and try to send save and test. Yeah, okay, flow ran successfully. As you can see here, it created a HTML body for me, and any minute I'm expecting an email to get in my inbox. Here we go, the email is here now. I'm going to open that, and as you can see here, I got an email now, and it says here is the latest updated record of list, records of the list, and list the name, title, and created by, and that's my report. Okay, hope this is useful, and thank you for watching.